We did it. We did it. I can tell all the young people from my generation that we can stop worrying about the future. We got the answers. I mean, have you been to shops lately? Have you seen all those sustainable products? Or do you read the news where politicians are full with answers, such as banning plastic straws or exchanging petrol cars with electric cars? Amazing! Isn't it? Okay, let's stop kidding ourselves right here. We all know that true answers look differently. And I've been looking for those true answers for the past 10 years. I was so hungry to find a master plan that will get us out of all those crises. And I finally got it. I mean, we got it. In September 2015, something incredible happened. All 193 member states of the United Nations, so our world community, they have signed this, I would say even revolutionary, 2030 agenda with its 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Or in short, SDGs. They are not only about combating climate change or stopping our massive species extinction. No, these goals describe that future that we young people long for. A future where no one has to be poor or hungry, but everybody has access to clean water, to fresh air, or to clean energy. Okay, to be honest, like if we look at this goal like one by one, they are nothing new, right? But what is truly groundbreaking of this political agenda is its integrative approach. These SDGs call us to really see the synergies and use the ripple effect and to prevent the trade-offs between those goals. Okay, let's say you're a mayor of a city. You have to make a decision what to do with a disused open-cast coal mine. You, being a responsible mayor, of course, you go through all the 169 sub-goals of this SDG, and then you choose that option that has most benefits and reach most of the goals. So you do not build another shopping mall, but you create a lake out of it. Because in this way, you can restore the ecosystem around that lake. You can build a space for recreation for your people. And also that lake helps cooling down your city on those increasing hot summer days. So in the end, also you help achieving health for your people. That's exactly the spirit of the SDGs. One approach, several ripple effects. The SDGs call us to really not talk anymore about symptoms, like plastic straws, but really to tackle the roots of our problems. And soon it was very clear for me that I wanted to be part of that game change. So I applied to become the German UN Youth Delegate on Sustainable Development. And my role was not only to bring in our reality to the negotiation table, but I also felt I have to play the watchdog when politicians reported their progress on the implementation of the SDGs. And that progress really looked grim. It was one of those conference days where I got again so frustrated that I left the room, together with my young colleague Lindsay from Ghana. We wanted to get a coffee. We wandered through these great halls of the UN headquarters, and then she suddenly looked at me and said, "Rebecca, why is there so little progress with the implementation of these goals in your country? I mean, you have all the science, the technology, the education, a democratic system. Why so little progress?" And that question never left me. So I traveled through my country. I visited ministries, I visited scout camps, I visited banks and universities. I wanted to spread that new sustainability language. And at the same time, I was observing in how far others understood it. And this is where I discovered that there's something missing to make this work. So, Lindsay, here's my answer to you. We are missing the right mindset. Many of us are still stuck in a linear mindset that thinks in silos and simple solutions. And it is from that mindset out that they apply the SDGs, but obviously creating a mismatch, right? How does that mismatch look like? I came across 3 main mistakes. The first one is cherry picking. One organization said they contribute to the SDGs, and then they put up one SDG. And I was like, wait, these goals are interconnected. There should be at least a few other goals as well. They put up the goal on gender equality. So what's about SDG 13, climate action? I mean, it's proven that women are disproportionately more affected by climate change. Second mistake is scratching the surface. I was once invited by an oil drilling company claiming to be sustainable. Excuse me? How? Well, the transport to that drilling station is climate friendly, so SDG 13, and then working conditions are great, so SDG 8. Cool. But what is about your core business case? I mean, you're taking million-years-old fossil fuels out of the ground and then heating up our climate. This is not only greenwashing, this is rainbow washing. Third mistake, trade-offs. A food aid organization once distributed sugary bars wrapped in plastic to hungry children. I mean, of course, you do contribute to our goal of zero hunger, but at the same time, you contradict other goals, such as health or reducing waste. You know, in Germany, we say, this is old wine in new bottles. This is old mindset using that new toolkit, SDGs, without having adapted our mindset accordingly, our sustainability consciousness. But what does that sustainability consciousness look like? So I continued my quest for answers, and I visited indigenous people in the Amazon rainforest, because I was wondering, how do these people manage to live in peace with themselves and their environment for a couple of thousands of years without any sustainability goals or strategies? So I met Mirim, who took me through that jungle of plants that had shapes and colors and flavors I've never experienced before. Actually, it was the most beautiful place I've ever been. So on our way through that jungle, I was asking Mirim, what is it that my society has forgotten? What is it that you still apparently know? And then he looked at me and he said, Rebecca, everything is connected. Okay, I felt a little bit disappointed by that answer in that moment. I was like, okay, it's a nice spiritual saying, but it's nothing I can really take and then go back and change something. But still, I couldn't forget what he said. So back in my world, I was looking for those connections. And the more I looked into it, the more they were obvious. I mean, let's say you're on a holiday in Bali and you throw your plastic cup on the beach and you think this has nothing to do with you anymore. Well, you're wrong. That plastic cup will become microplastic, will get into the sea, is eaten by fish, and eventually lands on your plate. Everything is connected. And as long as we do not apply this interconnected, systemic view to every action today, this action is not considered to address our reality. Talking about realities, I studied environmental sciences. And this is where I discovered another source of inspiration for this needed sustainability consciousness. It's nature. I mean, nature has always been here. So I would say enough time to figure out how it all runs well on this planet, right? No, but seriously, we can learn a lot from nature. We can learn how to think in cycles. We can learn about those complex and interconnected systems. Did you know, for instance, that whales can change the climate? When whales were being killed in large numbers, you could have expected that the fish and krill that they usually eat would increase, but it didn't. Why? Well, let's have a look at this rather simple illustration of a actually very complex system. Whales poo at the surface of the water. They kind of release their fecal plumes, and that is actually very rich in nitrogen and iron. And that fertilizes plant plankton. The more plant plankton, the more animal plankton, the more fish and krill. So the more whales, the more fish. And now we look at the interconnection with other systems, because plant plankton absorbs a massive amount of carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Actually, taking all plant plankton together, it's 4 times higher than the Amazon rainforest. So in the end, we see that one factor here, whales, contribute to several changes in different systems. And this is exactly how we need to see the SDGs. Taking the whole system into account and then looking for that one approach that can have that ripple effect on all other systems. What does it mean for us? It means we cannot replace petrol cars with electric cars and think this is it. Rather, we should question our whole system of mobility, such as, do we even need cars in urban areas? Or maybe we should even question the whole system of our cities. What about restructuring our cities so that we can reach everything we need for a good life within 15 minutes on foot or by car or by bike? The same is true for our energy transition. It is not a mere switch of technologies. Rather, it's a paradigm shift on all accounts. And there again is a chance. We can use this chance to democratize our energy system. So for example, citizens can form cooperatives and then produce their energy. And this way we can overcome the acceptability issues. I'm not here to give you easy answers. But what I can offer you is to take these glasses that I and many of my generation are already looking through. This integrative, circular, systemic perspective has to become the base of every policy, of every business plan, and every lifestyle choice, if you want to give our future a chance. If you want to be part of that sustainable future, well, here's an advice. Whatever your next decision in life is, go through that checklist. See whether all different aspects of the ecological, the social, and the economic dimensions are being integrated equally and not being played off against each other. Do you take the whole system into account? Do you see and prevent trade-offs? And then please communicate about this honestly. Avoid rainbow washing, because we are all in this together. In the end, we are not here to tick some SDG boxes. We are doing it for us, for our well-being and the well-being of future generations on this beautiful planet, and hopefully also healthy and thriving planet. The SDGs just serve as a compass, but let's go beyond that. And let's discover collectively our sustainability consciousness. Next time, when I see Lindsay from Ghana, I want to tell her, we made it. We all discovered our circular minds. This is my dream.